A couple things before we start the show. First of all, in case of fire or other emergency, follow the large glowing red exit signs. You will notice that our performers tonight are not wearing masks. We can do this because we all got negative COVID tests in the past 24 hours. We ask that you guys please remain masked to keep us and each other safe. Let's see, what else? You will notice a slight change from the cast list printed in your programs tonight. Ben Martin, who was supposed to play Ursula, couldn't make it tonight, so I will also be playing the role of Ursula. It's fine. And guys, is there anything else I said I was going to say that I'm now forgetting?
Who are you?
Oh, that's a good point. Hi everybody, I'm Gus, I'm the director. And we are the Dartmouth Rude Mechanicals, Dartmouth's only student-run theater company who put on a Shakespeare play every single term. And we are so happy that you could come see this one. This is Much Ado About Nothing. It is my favorite play in the whole wide world. And we're really excited to put it on for you guys. The show will run about an hour and a half, maybe slightly less. There is no intermission, but if you do need to get up at any point to like use the bathroom or get water, that is all up that hall and to your right. There is a camera recording tonight's show. Just please be aware that the camera is there and don't knock it over or scream loudly into the attached microphone so that we can get a good recording. And with that, we're going to start the show. Please relax and enjoy. I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, none of name.
Victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
He had borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion.
I pray you, is Signor Montalto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady.
My cousin means Signor Benedick of Padua.
Oh, he's returned and as pleasant as he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedick too much.
He hath done good service in these wars.
He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier too, lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
So indeed, he is no less than a stuffed man.
Oh, you must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedick and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. But how is his companion now? I mean, he hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Fairly easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next walk.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your blood.
No, when he were, I would wear my study. But who is his companion?
He is most in the company of the very noble Claudio.
Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath caught thee, Benedict, it'll cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
Don Pedro is approached. Good, Signor Leonardo, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid costing you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your child.
Their mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedick, no, for then were you a child.
Truly the child fathers himself. Be happy, hero, for you are like an honorable father. If Signor Leonardo be their father, they would not have his head on their shoulders, for all Messina is like him as they are.
I wonder that you would still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath leaped such food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy of self must convert to Disdain if you come into presence.
Why then is courtesy a turncoat? For it is certain I am loved of all the ladies, only yourself excepted. And I would I could find it in my heart I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would also have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood. I am of your humor for that. I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and toward such a face as yours where
Well, you are a rare parent teacher.
a bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my tongue at the speed of yours, and that my horse was so good a continuer. But keep your wife in God's name, I have done.
You always end with a James trick. I know you of old.
Signor Claudio and Signor Benedick, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month and guard the praise and occasionally detain us further.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hands, Leonardo. We will go together.
Benedick, didst thou note the child of Signor Leonardo?
I noted them not, but I looked on them.
Are they not a modest youth?
Would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to all but men?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith? Methinks they're too low for a high praise and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford them, that were they other than they are, they were unhandsome, and being no other but as they are, I do not like them.
Thanks, Diamond Sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest them.
Would you buy them that you inquire after them?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into.
Mine eye, they are the sweetest creature that ever I looked on.
I can yet see without such spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's their cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, doth exceed them as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, do you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary. The hero would be mine.
Is it come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Ah, look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret? How'd you hear that you followed not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Oh, on my allegiance, mark you, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark you how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short child.
Amen, if you love them, for Hero is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
In faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two-faced entrance, I spoke mine.
That I love them, I feel.
That they are worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how they should be loved nor know how they should be worthy is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic, despite of you.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a reed winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee ere I die. Look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, as time shall try, inside the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in great letters let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedick, the married man.
Nay, if Cupid hath not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for it shortly. In the meantime, Benedick, prepare to Leonardo's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit
To the tuition of God, from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedick.
Nay, mock not, ere you flout all thence any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, there is only heir. Dost thou affect them, Claudio?
My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon them with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task to hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now, that war thoughts have left their rooms vacant, in thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me, how fair young Hero is. Saying I liked them ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou lovest fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with their father, and then thou wilt have them.
How sweetly you do minister to love. But should my liking too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
When need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. I know we shall have some revelry here tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And in their bosom I'll unclasp my heart. And after to their father will I break, and the conclusion is they shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
My lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and tend on no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's misses, and laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of it till you can do so without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible that you should take true roots but by the fair weather that you make yourself.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It must not be denied that I am a plain dealing villain. I am enfranchised with a muzzle and entrusted with a claws. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. What news, Borracho?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince your brother is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What, is he a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Married. It is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who, which way looks he?
Married. On Hero, the child and heir of Leonato.
A very forward marked chick. How came you to this?
As I was smoking in a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and, having obtained them, give them to Count Claudio.
Come. Let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself in every way. You both are sure and will follow me. To the death, my lord. Let us to the great supper then. Their charm is the greater that I am subdued.
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Supper.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He has a very melancholy disposition.
You were an excellent man that were made in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other is too like my lady's eldest son, ever more Italian.
Then half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
For the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I cannot endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had much rather lie in the womb.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth. He that hath no beard is less than a man. He that is more than a youth is not for me. He that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, child, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say, Father, as it please you. And yet, for all that, cousin, let me be a handsome fellow. Or else make courtesy again and say, Father, as it please me.
Niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man of some other metal than earth.
Hero, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer. Oh, the revelers are entering. Make good room.
Will you walk back with your friend?
So you walk softly and talk sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
Speak low, if you speak low.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful and had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedick that said so.
What's he?
The prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him. And his commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. He would if he had ordered me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, not marked or laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then is a partridge ring safe, for the fool will have no supper that night. We will follow the leaders.
Every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next birth.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and have withdrawn with their father to break with him about it. The ladies follow them, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedick?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from them, for they are no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
But how know you he loves them?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry them tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedick. We hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow about your own business, County, for the prince hath got your
I
hero.
wish him joy of that.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
Pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind
It will
man.
not be, I'll lead you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now he will creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's fool! Ha! It may be. I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so am I apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace hath got the goodwill of your hero.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block! She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester! That I was duller than a great thought, hurling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man in a mark with the whole army shooting at me! She speaks poignards and every word stabs! Her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were none living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her! Though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. Come, talking out of her! I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for it is certain that while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose that they would go thither. So indeed all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her. Oh, look, here she comes. Your grace command me any service now to the world's end. I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Presser John's foot, fetch you a hair from the great champ's beard, do any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tub.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick,
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry once before, he won it of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well conclude I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me. Lest I should prove the mother of fools, I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick, nor merry nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
I'll be sworn if you be so as conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is one. I have broke with their father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage. God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my child, and with them my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Hero, as you are mine, I am yours. Give away myself to you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or, if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool, he is on the windy side of Canaan. My cousin tells him in his ear that they are in the house.
And so they doth, cousin.
Good lord, for alliance, thus goes everyone into the world but I, and I'm sunburnt. I may well sit in a corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I had rather one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if the maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days, your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you.
Please, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, that your grace is for me.
I'm a drop of pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I've heard my child say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means, my lord. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my lord! If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when need you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love my fellow's rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just sevennight, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
I warn thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it imagined, I doubt not, but to fashion it. If you three will but administer such assistance, I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watches.
As am I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband I know. I will teach her how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedick. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedick that in despite of his quick wit and his easy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so! The Count Claudio shall marry the child of Leonardo!
Yea, my lord, I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship about a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at Hero's chamber window.
What life is there in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, undo Hero, and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them. I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal to both the prince and Claudio that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at their chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For I shall so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall be such seeming proof of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning will not fail.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder how one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio! I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife, and now he'd rather hear the tambour and the pipe. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now as he turned to orthography, his words make a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise or I'll none, virtuous or I'll never cheapen her. Fair or I'll never look on her, mild or come not near me. Noble or I not for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. The prince of Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
See you where Benedick put himself?
Oh, very well, my lord.
Oh, what was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedick?
I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
It's possible, since the wind in that corner.
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the intellect of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
You amaze me. I would have thought her spirits to be invincible against all assaults of affection.
So would I too, especially against Benedick.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis indeed true, so your child says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My child says so. It is very true.
It were good he knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, or were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
She is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick.
Well, I am sorry for her, as I have just cause being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all of the respects and made her have myself. I pray you tell Benedick of it and hear what you will say.
We're good, thank you.
Hero thinks surely she will die. For they say she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere her love be known, and she will die ere he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. She should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit. Well, I am sorry for your miss. Shall we go seek Benedick and tell him of her love?
Oh, never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear more of it by your child. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy of so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If ye do not dote on her upon this, I will never again trust my expectation.
But let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your child and their gentleman be carried. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick! The conference was sadly poor. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. Seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Ha! Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I proceed the love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me, troth, 'tis no great addition to her wit. Nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? Shall these quirks and sentences and paper bullets of a brain awe the man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
You have no stomachs in your heart. Very well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me? Why, that's as much to say that any pains I take for you are as easy as thanks. I do not love her. I am a villain.
Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice. Whisper in her ear and tell her I and Ursula will walk in the orchard and our whole discourse is all of her. Say thou overheardst us and bid her steal into the pleach bower to listen our purpose. This is thy office, fare thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I will make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him, more than ever man did marry. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that moved only by hearsay. Now begin, so look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear a conference.
Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
No, truly, Ursula, I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new-betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, Hero?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedick, to wish him a wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project no affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport of it.
Why, you speak true. I never saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backwards. If tall, a lance ill-headed; if low, an agate very vilely cut; if speaking, a vein blown with all winds; if silent, why a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
Why, you speak true.
But who dare tell her so?
I know, if I should speak, she would mock me into air. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, die inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks.
Yeah, tell her of it! Hear what she would say!
No. Rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to deceive my cousin with. One does not know how much an ill word may empoison life.
Woo! Yeah, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man in all Messina. Always accepted by dear Claudio.
When are you married, Hero?
Every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show you some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's lying, I warrant you, we have caught her.
If it proves so, then loving goes by halves. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned with pride and scorn so much? Contempt? Farewell, and maiden pride, adieu, and Benedick, love on. For I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it. Better than reportedly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then go I towards Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I, methinks you are sadder.
Hope he be in love.
Hang him, Truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money. I have the toothache. What? Sigh for the toothache.
Well, everyone can master a grape, but he that has it.
He be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs.
Hey, rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is its melancholy.
Does he want to wash his face?
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too, I warrant one that knows him not.
Yea, and his ill conditions, and he, despite of it all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upward.
But this is no charm for the toothache. Oh, senor. Walk aside with me. I have studied some 8 or 9 wise words to speak with you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
By my soul, to break with him about Beatrice
Beatrice.
So indeed, Hero and Margaret have by this played their part with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good damn, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it would please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
It means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that. When he knows what I know,
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
you may think I love you not, but let that appear hereafter, and aim better. By that I will now manifest.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, your fiancé is disloyal.
Hero?
Even they, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out their wickedness. Go but with me tonight. See their chamber window entered, even the night before their wedding day. If you love them, then wed them, but it would better serve your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry them, then tomorrow in the congregation, where I should wed them, there will I shame them.
And since I wooed for thee to obtain them, I will join with thee to disgrace them.
I will disparage them no farther. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Well, give him his charge, neighbor Dogberry. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
And how they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave. If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects. True. And you are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are to make no noise, for the watch, to babble and to talk, is most tolerable and will not be endured.
Well, I would rather sleep than talk. I know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I see not how sleeping were to offend. Well, you are to call all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
And how if they will not?
Why then, leave them alone until they are sober, and if they make not the better answer for you, say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you see a thief in the night, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man, and for such kind of man, unless you meddle or make with him, why the more it is for your honesty.
But if I know them to be a thief, shall I not lay my hands on them?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself for what he is and steal out of your company. You've always been called a merciful man, partner. Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man that hath any honesty in him. If you hear a child crying tonight, you are to call its nurse and bid her still it.
And what if the nurse be asleep and cannot hear me?
Why then, depart in peace, and presently let the child wake her with its crying. For the ewe that hears not the lamb when it bays shall hear not the calf when it bleats. 'Tis very true. This is the end of your charge. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name. 'Tis very true. By'r lady, I think it be not. But marry, not without the prince be willing. For the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will. By'r lady, I think it be so. Well, master, good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, I hear my charge. I will go sit upon this church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbor! I pray you, watch about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding being held tomorrow, there's great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you. Conrad!
Here, man. I'm at thy elbow.
Mask, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain. And I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason.
Therefore know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
I should rather ask if it were possible that any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I know that man. He's been a vile thief this 7 year and goes up and down like a gentleman. Oh, I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
Now, 'twas the vein on the house.
But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out by Hero's shammed window, bids me 1,000 times good night. Ugh, I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths, which first deceived them, and partly by the dark night, which did possess them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio in rage, swore he would meet them, as he was appointed, the next morning in the temple, and there, before the entire congregation, shamed them with what he saw overnight, and send them home again without a husband.
Aha! I charge thee in the prince's name! Oh, stand! Oh, I have uncovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever been known throughout the Commonwealth.
Master!
Never speak. I charge you. Let me obey. Let me obey. You should just go with me.
We'll obey you.
Troth, I think your other rubato were better.
No, wait, oh, hear this.
By my troth, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and you are another. We are done with this, and God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Why, Polly, are thou not ashamed?
Of what? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, can it be the right husband. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice House. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
How now, do you speak the sick tune?
And not of all other tone, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock. Peasant is time already. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. I
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
These gloves the county gave me. They are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed. There's goodly catching a cold.
By my troth, I am sick.
Oh, get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? No, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedick was such another, and he has become a man. He swore he would never marry,
And yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. I know not how you may be converted, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Hero! Count Claudio and all the gallants of the town are coming to fetch you to church.
Help me to dress, good Nick, good cuz.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence which discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
That it is, sir. Yes, in truth it is.
What is it, my good friends?
Oh, Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the mark. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would hope they are, but in faith as honest as the skin between his brows. Yes, I thank God I'm as honest as any man living that's an old man and no honester than I. Comparisons are odorous, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Oh, it pleases your worship to say, but we are the poor duke's officers. But for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow all of my tediousness upon you.
All my tediousness on me,
Aye, and we're 1,000 pounds more than 'tis.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch have taken, accepting your worship's presence, a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina. A good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it's a world to see. Well said, I faith, neighbor Verges, but God's a good man, and two men ride a horse, one must ride behind.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
One word, good sir. Our watch have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Fare you well.
Go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are to an examination on these men, and we must do it wisely. We shall spare them no wit, I warrant you.
Come, Friar Francis, be brave.
You come hither, my lord, to marry Hero.
No.
To be married to them, Friar, you come to marry.
Hero, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter.
Know you any, Hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do. Stand thee by, Friar. Father, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me your child?
As freely, son, as God did give them me.
But what have I to give you back whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render them again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take them back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. They're but the sign and semblance of their honor. Behold, how like a maid they do blush there. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see them, that they were made by these exterior shows? But they are none. They know the heat of a luxurious bed. Their blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of their...
I know what you would say. If I have known them, you will say they did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo, I never tempted them with word too large, but showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee! Seeming? I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as the bud here at below, but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he does speak so wise?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
True. Oh God!
Leonardo, stand I here. Is this the prince's brother? Is this face Hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me move but one question to your child, and by that fatherly and kindly power you have in them, bid them answer truly.
I charge thee, do so, as thou art my child.
What man was he that talked with you yesternight betwixt the hour of 12 and 1? Now, as you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden! Leonardo, I am sorry that you must hear. Myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see them, hear them at that hour, that last night talk the ruffian at their chamber window, who have indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the violent encounters they've had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language to utter them. Thus, pretty hero, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero. What a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, fare thee well, thou pure impiety and impious purity.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me.
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, come, let us go. These things thus brought to life smother their spirits up.
How doth Hero?
Dad, I think, help, uncle! Hero, my hero, uncle, Senor Benedick, friar!
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for their shame that may be wished for now.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, hero.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should they not?
Wherefore? Doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon them? Could they here deny the story that is printed in their blood? Grieved I had but one. Chid I for that at frugal nature's frame, a one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes?
Sir, have patience. For my part, I am so attired and wonder I know not what to say.
My soul, my cousins belie.
Lady, were you their bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been their bedfellow.
Would the two princes lie? And Claudio lie that loved them so that speaking of their foulness washed it with tears?
Hear me a little. By looting of Hero, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into their face. 1,000 innocent shames beat away those blushes. In their eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against their maiden tree. Call me a fool. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet child lie not guiltless here under some biting error. Hero, what man is he you are accusing?
They know that do accuse me, I know not. If I know more of any man alive than that which made him modesty to warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Father, prove you that I with any man conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesterday maintained the change of words with any creature refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they wrong Hero's honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while. Let my counsel sway you in this case. Your child here, the princes left for dead. Let them, a while, be secretly kept in and published that they are dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that pertain unto the Lord.
What will become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried, shall on their behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. They, dying as it must be so maintained upon the instant that they were accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hero. So will it fare with Claudio. He shall hear they died upon his words. The idea of their life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of their life shall come apparelled in more precious habit than what they lived in. Then shall he, if ever love had interest in his lover, and wish he had not so accused them, no, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in life. The supposition of their hero's death will quench the wonder of their infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal them. It is best befits their wounded reputation in some inclusive religious life. Of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you, and though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the Prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Hey, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right them?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it.
It's in a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing nor deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear it and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
You do not eat your word.
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest that I love you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, and dishonored my cousin? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear them in hands until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Sweet hero, they are wronged, they are slandered, they are undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend, would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, and he is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot die a woman with grief, because I cannot be a man.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul, the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero.
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say they are dead. And so, farewell.
Which of the offenders is to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Horatio.
Pray, write down Horatio. And yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and put God first, for God should go before such villains. Masters,
It is proved already that you are little better than false names. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelously witty fellow, but I will go through with him. A word in your ears, sir. Come you hither, sir. It is said that you are false names.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside! For God! They're both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you are not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary. That's the ethicist way. Let the watch come forth! I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
Well, this man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down, Prince John, a villain. Why? That is flat perjury, to call the prince's brother a villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I warrant you.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing Hero wrongfully, and that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero in front of the whole assembly and not marry them.
Oh, villains! Thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
That is all.
And this is more monstrous than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner accused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to the altars. I will go and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinionated. Let them be in the hands of
Coxcomb!
God's my life! Where's the sexton? Let him write down, the prince's officer a coxcomb. Here, bind them!
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh! That you were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, villain, thou art full of piety and shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am, sirs, a wise fellow, and which is more, a household, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one who knows the law. Bring them away! Oh, that I had been written down an ass.
Bring me a father that so loved his child. His joy of them was overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such, in every lineament, branch, shape, and form. If such a one will smile and stroke his beard, bid sorrow wag, cry hem when he should groan, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of heavy sorrow, but no man's virtue, nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself.
Good Dan, good Dan.
Hear you, my lord.
Will you have some haste, Leonardo?
Some haste, my lord? Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? All is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
Thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand if we should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Oh, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged my innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. Thou hast wronged mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through their heart, and they lie buried with their ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of theirs, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, that I said.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dares.
Wait, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daft me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your child's death, but on my life they were charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord!
But I will not hear you. See, here comes the man who went to sea.
What news, senor?
Good day, my lord.
Good day, senor. You are almost come to part almost a fray.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I am come to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I bid thee draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Sir, I pray you choose another subject.
But this lady changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare with what you dare and when you dare. Do me right or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet thee, so that I may have good cheer.
What, a feast, a feast?
Faith, he hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
Oh, but when shall we set the savage bull's horns in the sensible Benedick's head?
Yea, and text underneath, here you may see Benedick, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother is this night fled from Messina. You have among you killed the sweet and innocent hero. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And have challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Soft you, let me be. Look up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come. If justice cannot tame you, she shall narrow away more reasons in her balance. And you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? Two of my brother's men bound?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers? What offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a noodle. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Second, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they're committed, and to conclude what you laid to their charge.
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, sent me to slander Hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced them when you should marry them. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. Hero is dead upon my and my master's accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of the villain.
Runs not this speech like ire through your blood?
Drunk poison while he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Oh, sweet Hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Senior Leonato of the matter. And moreover, sir, do not forget to specify when the time and the place shall serve it. I am an ass. Look, here comes Senior Master Leonato.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the man that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stands a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my child's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done if you would think you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose you avenge yourself. Impose what penance you may lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul nor I, and yet to satisfy this good old man, I'll bend under any heavy weight if you would join me too.
I cannot bid you bid my child live. That were impossible, but I pray you, possess the people in Messina here how innocent they died. And if your heart can labor aught in sad invention, hang them an epitaph upon their tomb, and sing it to their bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a child, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and they alone are heir to both of us. Give them the right you should have given their cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Noble sir, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose from henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow morning I'll expect your coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but that hath always been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which is indeed not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in the punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains. Go. I discharge thee thy prisoners, and I thank you.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship, and I wish your worship well, and I give you my humble leave to depart. And, if a merry meeting be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
We will not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hand by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, lady, that no man living shall come over it, for comely is truth. Thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me. Wink. Why shall I always keep below stairs?
My wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth. It catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hits, but hurt not. Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. Leander the good swimmer. Troilus the first employer of panders, and a whole book full of quantum carpet majors, whose names run smooth even in the road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, cannot show it a rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. And for school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet. Nor can I woo in festival terms. Ah! Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Nay, senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then, it's spoken. Very well now. Yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is, knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind. Foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I shall depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. Pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts did you first fall in love with me?
Why, for them altogether, which maintain so politic a state of evil, that none would admit any good part to intermingle with them. But, for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think, alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I shall spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. Here comes one in haste.
You must come to your uncle's. It has been proved that Hero hath been falsely accused, the Prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, who is the author of it all, is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signora?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Did I not tell you they were innocent? So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused them upon the error that you heard committed. But Margaret is in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
I'm glad all things sort so well, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, child and you gentlewomen all, when I send for you, come hither masked.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
Do what, Signor?
To bind me, or undo me. One of them. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good Signor, your niece doth regard me with an eye of favor.
That I, my child, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight of which I think you had from me, from the Prince and Claudio, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but my will is your good will, may stand with ours, the state to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your life
And my help. Here comes the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow to you both. We here attend you. Are you yet determined to marry with my brother's child?
I'll hold my mind.
Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedick. Oh, why do you have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold. Which is the one I must seize upon?
This same as they, and I do give you that.
They're mine. Sweet, let me see thy face.
No, that you shall not, till you take their hand before this friar and swear to marry them.
Give me your hand. Now, before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you would have it.
And when I lived, I was your other spouse, and when you loved, you were my other husband.
Hero!
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and as surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that was dead.
They died, my lord, but whilst their slander lived.
All this amusement can I qualify when after that the holy rites are ended. I'll tell you largely of their hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Where is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then your uncle and the Prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth! No! No more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly not, but in front of the company.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper in his own hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come. I will have thee, but by this sleight I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day, I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I heard you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedick the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince, a college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And therefore, never flatter me for what I have said against it, for man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. Come, let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our love's heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First on my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. Strike up, pipers.